So, we've all experienced it, right? That moment when your loving nature suddenly flips and you're, well, a bit mean. It's interesting how even the kindest of people can, act out in ways that don't seem to match their hearts.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's like these unplanned, unkind moments just sneak up on you. I mean, what do you think actually triggers this sudden shift?
Yeah, it's really all about the layers of our emotions. You see, our feelings are multidimensional. It's not just about being happy or sad. There's also frustration, anger, even fear that lurks underneath.
Right. So you're saying that even when we're generally warm-hearted, these intense emotions sometimes bubble up and override our best intentions?
Exactly. It's like sometimes our inner emotional spectrum is just too full. We all experience a
Yeah.
mix of joy and irritability, and sometimes the negative ones can really take over without warning.
And it's not just the emotions, right? There's also that backstory of how we were brought up. Childhood patterns, maybe?
Right, and that's a big part of it. Our upbringing and environment, the kind of scenarios we grow up with, fundamentally shape our reactions.
Mm-hmm.
If you grew up in a place where conflicts were solved with harsh words, then in stressful moments, you might, well, revert to that learned behavior.
It's like, even if you consciously try to be kind, those ingrained patterns can break through when you're triggered.
Yes, precisely. And it's not so much about being inherently mean. It's more like a momentary, unintentional slip due to those ingrained
Right.
behaviors.
But here's something I've been thinking about. Couldn't there be a case where someone argues that even when we're stressed, we're still responsible for our reactions?
That's a fair point. And I totally get that perspective. But, it's really hard to be fully accountable to a self that's overwhelmed by built-up stress or past trauma.
Uh-huh.
Recognizing these inherited patterns is the first step to making conscious changes.
Yeah, I see that. So the idea is to understand these patterns, not to excuse them entirely, but to give yourself a chance to heal, right?
Absolutely, it's about self-awareness. Once you pinpoint the source, be it unresolved childhood issues or, say, daily pressures, then you can start working on intentional responses rather than default reactions.
Yep. And what about stress? I mean, life's chaotic, and stress can make a huge difference in how we interact with others.
Yes, stress is like the fuel that intensifies those underlying emotions. Imagine having a list of responsibilities that never ends. Essentially, your patience and kindness start to erode, and soon enough, even small triggers, like an offhand remark, can set off a chain reaction.
Mm-hmm. It's like when you're juggling too many balls, one tiny slip can send them all crashing down.
Exactly. It's like every little thing becomes a potential trigger. And when you're already stretched thin, it's not the actual comment, but the accumulation of stress behind it that makes you react sharply.
Yeah. So, in a way, understanding that our reactions may be more about the weight of everything else we're carrying rather than the moment itself becomes key to turning these moments around.
You got it. And another big piece of this puzzle is unmet needs. You know, those little things we desperately require, rest, connection, quiet, that, when they're lacking, can lead to
Right.
frustration.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think about coming home exhausted and finding your space disrupted. It's not that you suddenly become a jerk. It's that your need for calm wasn't met.
Exactly. It's like you're already depleted, and then something as simple as unexpected noise or company becomes the spark that ignites irritation.
Yeah. And then you're left wondering, why did I react that way? When really, it was your unmet need for solitude speaking out.
Yes, it's a reminder that these emotional reactions are like signals, indications of deeper needs that have gone unaddressed.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. But how do we start transforming these moments, these unkind reactions, into opportunities for growth?
Well, the idea is to start with self-reflection and then follow up with practical strategies. For example, learning to pause and really assess why you're feeling flooded with stress or unmet needs before reacting.
Right. So, taking a moment to go, okay, what is it really that I need right now? Might help prevent that unintentional harshness.
Exactly. It's like having a quick check-in with your inner self. Instead of letting an automatic response take over, you pause to acknowledge and address the need behind the feeling.
Yep. That definitely makes sense in a world where triggers are everywhere. But don't you think it might sometimes be too idealistic to expect that level of self-reflection in the heat of the moment?
I see where you're coming from, and you're right. It's not easy. In the midst of a stressful scenario, pausing is challenging. That's why systems like reflective practices or even personal development workshops can be so valuable.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that's where invitations like the masterclass come in, right? Like how to be the loving partner or parent you want to be really aims to equip people with tools to bridge that gap between their intentions and actions.
Exactly. It's an opportunity to dive into those dynamics, learn practical tactics, and even connect with others who are on the same journey of understanding and change.
Right. Yep. And adding to that, the heart share circles sound like a great initiative for shared healing. Having a space where you can really explore these lapses without judgment, huh?
Absolutely. It's like a safe room where you can share your stories and feel supported instead of feeling isolated by your mistakes.
Yeah, I really appreciate that perspective. Instead of being defined by our worst moments, we get a chance to learn from them and perhaps even transform them into our best steps forward.
Exactly. It's all about moving from self-criticism to self-compassion, recognizing that those mean moments are just fragments of our overall loving nature, and they don't define who we are.
Mm-hmm, right. And it's refreshing to see how this understanding paves the way for tools and courses on emotional healing. I mean, transforming negative thinking isn't just a buzz phrase. It's a realistic, well thought out approach.
True, and the emphasis on daily actions, mindfulness, and self-awareness ties back into cultivating genuine joy. When you start appreciating even the tough parts of your emotional experience, you empower yourself to make positive changes.
Yep, I like that. It's like you're saying, hey, all parts of you matter, even the ones that sometimes act out.
Right, it's embracing the whole self. And that understanding can really create a foundation for healthier relationships and self-growth.
Uh-huh. And in a way, isn't that the key to genuine happiness? Not having it all, but nurturing the parts of ourselves that lead us to a life filled with compassion.
Exactly. By understanding and addressing those moments of meanness, we foster self-love, forgiveness, and, ultimately, connection with others. It's a continuous journey, but one worth taking together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's to embracing all our emotions, both the loving and the mischievous sides, and learning from them every step of the way.
Cheers to that, and thanks for this insightful conversation.